All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Crossing Swords. As always, I'm Andrew.
Forgive me.
Because I'm back again.
Yeah,
I'm still here.
You're still here.
Still here.
Forgive me.
And we're coming into your ears easier than the French robbers did at the Louvre.
Easier than a surgeon at work.
No, look, famously, the surgeon's not coming inside me.
And that was one of your conditions, I do remember.
Well, just anywhere near me. Do you know what I mean?
It's going to be
nowhere on my person.
Quite
I don't
near
want it
you.
on my person.
It's going to be near you, though.
Yes, fine.
Okay, that's fine. As long as,
And I'm unconscious. I'm not going to know.
to quote friend of the pod, Alex, ground rules were established.
Exactly. Look, as long as people are two consenting adults, what goes on, you know.
I'm going to change my chair like this.
It's nice to angle yourself a little bit.
I'm going to go U-style.
Yeah, so guys, we're just doing
cool?
a little episode, a mini episode.
We've not got a lot of time this week. I'll level with you.
No.
So we've had to, it's not going to be
And
as long
I'm
as
going
normal
on my
episodes.
Holly Bobs.
You're going away.
If you're listening to this, I'm not at home.
It's a bit. I would just tell the robbers.
Actually, no, I will be at home
just
by the time
advertise.
this comes out.
Thank God, because you just advertised to the world that, never mind the Louvre, cherry picked your top floor.
Well, no, someone will be here.
Your mum's not fighting off robbers, is she?
You don't know that.
She might make
That's
one
a
cup of tea.
massive
That's
judgment
slander.
on your
Huge
part.
slander.
She can pick up a knife.
But can she use the knife? Can she wield the knife?
How dare you question my mum's knife wielding skills?
And yet here we are.
Disgusting.
Unless I see it with my own eyes, I find it difficult.
Press that button again. Forgive me.
Forgive me.
Mama, can you hear me?
Anyway, we're a bit pressed for time. Yeah, how weird is it you're going away for a change?
Yeah,
That
it is
doesn't
weird.
happen
It's a
often.
role reversal.
It's a
Well,
role
I don't
reversal.
come from generational wealth.
It's true, I do
You
mostly
do come
travel.
from the Rothschilds, so.
I travel on mummy and daddy's
And your
money.
dad's on the right wing grift, as we discussed in the last episode.
yeah, I forgot about that.
By the way, your dad's just a lovely bloke. He's not on the right wing grift, but that's going to be the new line I
It's his
peddle about
birthday
your
recently
family.
as well.
Oh, happy birthday! See, I'm like Alex. I don't dox people.
He had not had a go at me, but he went round on his actual birthday. He went round to his friend's house for him, my mum, and two of their best friends for like a curry.
Yeah. You're at home alone.
No, we surprised him. We went round there with him. It doesn't like surprises. It was a
I was gonna
dreadful
say,
idea,
so he was
but we went round there, and he then pulled up. I sat next to him, and he pulled up his phone, and he went, "Look at all these people that have sent me a happy birthday message.
You're not one
And
of
look, his name's not there." And I was like, "Yeah, but I knew I was going to see you." And Steph was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, but
you
he
still
didn't.
send
He
a
didn't
birthday.
know that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, but I knew I was going. I'm not sending a message to someone when
No,
I know I'm
you're in
going
the
to
wrong
see him."
here, Jake.
Yeah, look, I may be, but I'm
You're
not.
100%
I'm
in the
not
wrong
sending
here.
a message to someone when I know I'm going to see him.
No, but that's mental. You
I gave
still
him a card
should.
and I said it in person. Like,
I would be upset if you were seeing me on my birthday and you hadn't sent me a good morning, happy birthday message.
well, I'd probably say happy birthday to you via text because I'd let you know I was coming around anyway.
I mean,
like,
we know people who get really upset if you don't send birthday
oh,
messages.
don't we?
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's your poor father, so do you know what I mean?
But look, he got a card. Okay, I didn't.
No, but obviously the message means more than you realise.
Well,
That's
clearly,
the thing.
look,
This
yeah.
is where your brain needs a bit of tweaking in
Adjustment.
the sense of it may not make sense to you, but it's how
It
someone
matters to
else
him.
feels. Yeah. So like whether it's how long's that text going to take you to send? And it's your dad. So no, I'm on your missus's side here,
And my dad's.
and your dad's.
No, look. Ultimately, so am I think. But I just
Yeah.
wanted to defend myself a little bit.
No, you can't defend yourself,
I've tried.
and you failed.
Okay, let's say move on, shall we?
That's a sweeping declaration from me. You failed. As someone who doesn't have a father and would love to be able to text them on their
don't you
birthday.
fucking play that card. You take the piss.
I've twisted the knife. Oh, tell me how bad did that make you feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
It made me. I'll tell you what. It hurt because I rolled my eyes so hard.
You did the Ben Affleck, cigarette in hand, just.
Sort of thing the other day that said, wouldn't it be cool if they could make cigarettes that weren't bad for you, so we could all look cool?
Oh, the thing is, right, cigarettes are fantastic. I mean, they're not. Like, look, right, any kids listening, I mean, they shouldn't be. But if you are listening, don't smoke. Like, my nephew has...
Well, just any adults don't smoke as well. Like, just don't.
Well, an adult
don't
can
smoke.
do what they like, but... And it's also, if you're an adult who likes smoking, it's too late for you anyway.
No, but if
Like-
you're not into smoking, don't get
Yeah,
into
no,
smoking.
totally. If you can go without smoking, go without smoking. But my nephew has like such a good attitude. He hates, because we've always been smokers in the family, so like he just can't fucking stand it.
Good lad.
And every time he says it, I'm like, no, it's to keep that attitude. Like, if you can never smoke, because it's awful.
The teenage
But
years are coming.
It is also fantastic. Like, there's moments when you're a smoker, like, if you're at certain events where there's a decent amount of smokers, all the fun happens outside.
No, I will go
amongst
with
the
you on that.
smokers.
But I would counter that by saying I've had to endure passive smoke, but I've enjoyed good nights in the smoking area without myself smoking.
Yeah, totally. All the most mental shit goes on
In the smoking area.
area.
It does. It does. You make
and
the
also,
friends.
there's moments like the first like group holiday we went on. I remember exactly what the bar looks like. It was on the beachfront. Picture of sangria, beautiful women walking past in swimwear. You're with your best mates, fag in hand, and then I had a cigarette.
Sometimes when you're stressed, I appreciate it probably hits just right that first.
And like, genuinely, when I was a manager, the only moments of peace I got during a shift was
Fag break.
having a cigarette, because I didn't take a regular break usually. And I remember I worked in one particular store where it was just a fucking nightmare. And a guy came out to disturb me on my cigarette break, one of my guys, and I was like, even if the store's burning down, it can wait until I finished my cigarette. Now fuck off. I said it more politely.
Yeah, but you
than
got to
that,
have boundaries.
I was like, this is the one moment of peace I get, and you're not disturbing it. Go away, please.
I'll level with you, Matt. I did not see us going pro cigarette within the first 5 minutes of the episode.
No, me neither. But there it is.
And here it is.
Here it is.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Kids, don't smoke. It's really unhealthy, but you will look cool.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
And it is great fun, but don't do it.
It is interesting because I now don't smoke cigarettes. Like, I have a vape, and when I've had a cigarette since, it's horrible.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, Steph
So-
said the same thing. And it's also like, I just remember, I appreciate I've never been a smoker. I would do that social drink, social smoking on a night out.
Yeah,
or
I've
sometimes
given
I
you
was
the
like
odd
18,
cigarette
19.
here and there, and you never smoke the whole thing.
And I would, but I'd wake up and just the taste of it in your mouth the morning after is one of the most sickening things.
That's the other thing. After a night out, the condition your chest is in after a night out, and you're a smoker, and you smoke probably double the amount you would on any normal evening.
And when I think
Your
it's
chest's
all
in
you can
bits.
taste is like the ash, how do you enjoy a meal when you're a smoker? How do you...
See, actually, there's times when you're a smoker where, and it's a bit like Nessa, where she's like, I have one of my battered sausages and half the chips, stop, have a cigarette, and then I continue.
Oh, that's just...
And there are moments in the middle of a nice meal where you're like, what would tip this off right now is if I just had a fag at the side of the table and I could...
Get a blowjob halfway through the meal.
Well, that as well.
That would
Then
help.
I'd have a cigarette.
Then you'd have a cigarette.
Like, I'm really upset I didn't get to live in the age where...
Smoking indoors.
Yeah, not as an adult. Like, I remember it was around for... I remember when the non-smoking inside
2007,
thing came in.
I want to say.
I remember
smoking
when
ban.
So I was 16 when that happened. So it was just before my time came.
It was. And
So,
Alex
yeah.
couldn't do it because whilst he
He
was
wasn't allowed.
smoking, legally he was not allowed to smoke, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That was 16, I think, the smoking age back then as well.
Yeah, it probably
I'm
was.
pretty sure we were
Yeah.
getting people in year 11 to go and get fags.
Yeah.
Because like
And then get
they
you some
could.
cigarettes.
And then get you some cigarettes. Very, very...
By the way, the word fag is so bad in terms of, like, if you're referring to gay people. So
that's not what I was referring to,
what were you referring
Your Honour. I don't know. I didn't understand the concept. I was just going along with my friend.
That's
He
fair
was saying
enough.
a joke and I
Of
went
course,
along
of
with it. I
course.
didn't know what it
Yeah,
meant.
yeah.
I had no idea.
Go
it
have
meant
fun with
such
your
a racist
right-wing
thing.
dad.
Yeah, I will have fun with my right-wing dad.
On his birthday.
Classic
Don't message him. Fuck
Classic
it.
left wokey behaviour
Yeah, yeah.
to accuse me of such things.
We've got a monumental moment here, Jake.
I am. Hang on. We don't have wait for it, do we?
No.
I'll tell you what we do have though. In a minute, I'll see it. We don't have what I thought we had.
I've got a voice note from my significant other.
Please let this
She
be.
has-
Please let this be pillow talk. Please let this. You played the wrong one.
It's not. Leanne had a question for us on the podcast, and I said if she sent it, because we've had your lovely lady friend, Steph.
We basically had a domestic on the podcast via the podcast. She'd send a message and I'd respond through here.
So when Leanne sent sent me the question, I was like, how do you feel about doing a voice note? And I play it on the pod. And she said yes. So she sent it over.
My man.
And here is lovely Leanne.
Hey, Crossing Swords. So, I have a question for you. If you went on Deal or No Deal, and before you go on and your box gets picked and you sit down, what is your figure that you have in mind that you deal at? So say mine is, if it has to be at least over like 15k plus, if the bank offered me that, what would yours be? And are you gambling? Like, would you go all the way? Like, I know it's different, but when me and Andrew play it at the arcade, and for tickets, I know it's different. Andrew stands there and goes, "I'm going all the way." Like, no deal.
I can
no
hear
deal,
it.
No deal. And then he's like, "I'd rather go to the end." And then obviously we'd win all the tickets, but still, like, would you do that in real life on the game? And also just to talk about sharing food, Andrew doesn't share much food. He's got better, but he'd rather buy me my own. So say he got like a packet of crisps, and I tried one of his crisps and I liked them. It would then be, well, next time you can have your own bag, and then we both have a bag each. That way we just get to enjoy them without having to share them. So he'd rather like buy double than, so then I get to enjoy them and he gets to enjoy them rather than share them. Yeah, but he's got better. He has got better. I can try his food now, which is good. Which is thanks to him. I now like wontons. But yeah, there's the question, and I speak to you guys later.
First of all,
hey, Crossing Swords.
Excellent question. It's really important to get questions like that and hear from people. I'm doing even the thumb thing. And if you look, first of all, I want to address this.
What?
Very damning that she can now try your food and previously could not even try it.
Did I at any point?
No, you were honest. You were honest.
And this is what I said to Leanne when because I told her that Steph had sent a voice note. She was like, "What was the question?" I said, "It wasn't a question. It was her straightening a disagreement about Jake sharing food." And I told her what we'd said, and she was like, "Oh no, you're not sharing food, but you'll buy me my." And I have at no stage at any point with anyone ever gone, "Yeah, I'm the type of guy. Of course, I'll share my food with you." No, I don't. What I am, and I said to this to Leanne, like the wontons reference, I always get wontons when I have a Chinese. They're really nice. And one day she was like, "Oh, can I try them?" And I was like, "You can have one. Fair, like you can try
one wonton."
And I think I ended up maybe giving her two. I might be embellishing that part. But
I'd like to hear her version of events.
She got at least one, and she really liked them. So now when we have a Chinese, instead of sharing an order of wontons, we both get an order of wontons.
Yeah, look, I don't think you were always quite forthcoming. You were always quite honest about it.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of questions that I would like to ask her at some point. Well, first of all, you said, like, and she's backed you up, you would get her own, but you've said that if she wanted some there and then, you would give her half of what you had now order another one and split it. Yeah. And I'd just like to know whether she thinks that would happen.
I did say that to her. She didn't necessarily respond to that, or I think the way I worded it to her is that what I might do is give you some of mine, then we'll reorder what I've had. You can have the part of it I've had, I'll have the part that you've had, and then we'll order the food you want as well, and that's yours. So, and that way I've had my full meal. And
I'd like to get her view on that.
I think she'd probably agree, to be fair. But I've definitely got better. Like before, I wouldn't even want her trying what I've got. But I realised for her to find out whether she likes something. But what I do now in anticipation, if there's something new I want to try, I just get two of them. Yeah. And then we can both try it. And then if I like it, I'm not sharing it.
Food sharing's given us a lot of material. I'm all for it. In terms of the deal or no deal question, I must admit, when she said, "Oh, you just go all the way," one, I can see it, and two, I'm very much in the same vein. But that's
can
tickets,
I tell you
also,
something? In the arcade, it's paid off dividends quite often. Like, we've had the jackpot on the deal or no deal at least 2 or 3 times, and we haven't played it that many times, but almost every time we get a high amount of tickets, and it's because most of the time I'm like, no, don't like, because there's no money at stake really.
And
Do you know
that's
what I mean?
what I was going to say. It is different when there's money. I don't have a number. I'd have to play it by ear. I'd have to take it as it comes.
I think you do need to go in with an amount that you're like, if I walked away with this, I'm happy with it. Like, regardless of what happens, like, if I fuck up, but like, and I think that number for me is around 25 grand, because you could get a house deposit.
Well, Alex, and I might be embellishing this.
Is he giving you 10%
slightly?
Of his deal?
No. Alex and Ash kind of agreed with him on this, where he said that in any competition or anything, he'll risk it all if it's an amount of money that he can save for. If he puts his head down, really lives tightly, and can actually save for that amount of money, he's like, fuck it, let it ride. But if it's an amount that he would never ever see,
yeah.
So if it's like 5 grand, whereas I always say, so like sometimes they do radio phone-ins. I think Heart do it, I think Magic do it, where they'll do a thing where they'll go, hey, you've won. We'll either give you 5 grand today, or we'll put you in the draw for £100,000 at the end of the month. I'd always be like, well, I'll take the 5 grand.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed 5 grand, rather than a potential share of nothing.
Yeah, and how many people are going into that draw?
And that's it. At the end of the day, if no one else goes in, if one other person goes in the draw and everyone's taking the money, you've got a 50% chance of getting. You've also got a 50% chance at nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd always take. But Alex would always be like, well, look, no, I'd let it ride. I'd take the gamble on it.
No, because for me, even now, 5 grand could do a lot for me.
On Deal or No Deal. Like, also, I'll be honest with you. I think on Deal or No Deal, I'm susceptible to, if you have because the game ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
If I have a bad run, I'm really susceptible to being influenced by that and just having the wind knocked out my sail a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's quite.
But
human.
if I had the wind knocked out of me, I'm far more likely to go, fuck it, double down and go all in.
I said to Leanne when she first told me about the question, for me, it's highly dependent on what boxes you get, isn't it? Because either way, you can sort of go, fuck it, because say you got rid of loads of blues and then you got a really good offer because now it's down to 100 grand, it's not the 250 anymore. But say I've got 100, 75, 50, all the reds are left. And I've maybe got like the 1p left, a couple of blues spattered in there, and I get offered like 15 grand. I'm not taking it.
No, but
because it doesn't make sense to.
Equally, then you look if you're really playing the logical game and playing the odds kind of thing, you'd look at that and you go, okay,
I'm most likely going to knock out some reds.
The next round, I'm going to knock out reds, and the offer will be lower.
But say the lowest red at that point is 25 grand.
Then
it just doesn't make sense to take the offer, because in my head, I'm going to go, well, even if I knock out the 100, the 75 and the 50,
there's still a chance of winning more.
There's still a chance at 25.
No, absolutely. But then again, it's that thing of guaranteed money or maybe money.
But I've watched Deal or No Deal enough, because it was one of mine and my dad's favourite shows when I was younger, particularly because I just love Noel Edmonds.
Deal or No Deal?
Yeah, and I just I still think Noel Edmonds is hilarious. I think there's potentially, like, it comes across as one of those blokes that if something came out about him, I wouldn't be overly shocked. But at the same time, I love him, so that probably means he is guilty.
He's definitely guilty of something.
But I've watched enough Deal or... Not another one?
Accusations incoming. Because you have have a horrendous track record.
If you can get over that hump of the like smaller offers, all of a sudden the offers can ramp up if you get lucky. Now, if it went the other way, where like I've got only a few reds left and mostly blues, but I'm still knocking off loads of blues, it's worth, I think, hanging in it for the longer game.
But how would you feel if you had like 2 reds, say?
Yeah.
The rest blues. You throw a fair bit in the game, so you've knocked some blues out as well.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you do is the first box you knock out is a red. Yeah. Would you feel like a tit for not taking that? Not a tit, but would you think suddenly
it depends on what the lowest high?
But suddenly, would you think?
You know what I mean?
I should have taken the money.
Yeah, I mean, you run that risk. There was a game I watched where, and this is sort of the opposite, where this bloke, he had like, he was offered about 15 grand, but he still had on the board 50, 75, 100, but still had quite a few blues. And he took the deal because he was like, it's a life-changing amount of money.
And he had the 100 in his box or something.
It turned out he had I think it was the 75. And it was like, now look, and you could, at the start, he was like, look, I don't care what's now in my box. 15 grand's life changing for me. We've got enough for a deposit.
No, but you can't help when you see it.
But by the end, you could see, like, he was still saying he was fine with it, but you could see behind his eyes he was dying. Do you know, like, and that you could walk away from that situation potentially like feeling worse than when you walked in, even though you're 15 grand richer than you were when you walked in. So I feel like with Deal or No Deal, it's worth the risk by and large, unless you have a really bad game, to try and get to, I would say, the last third. Because if you've still got
never go early.
If you've still got the best boxes there, you're going to get like there was one game I watched with Leanne where it might even have been that one, and I was like, you don't take the 15 grand offer, because even if there's still 75 grand left.
But Leanne said that her number is 15. She would take 15.
I mean, look, I'll take 15. Like, if Leanne came home from Deal or No Deal, was like, babe, I've got 15 grand. That's amazing.
That's actually a good question. I can't ask Leanne, but how would you feel? Your partner comes home, maybe she tells you, but even if she doesn't, right? She goes, I've got 15 grand. Great. You've put it towards whatever, you're living fine. And then you watch the episode and she has the 75 in her box.
I'd be angrier at myself in that situation than I would at Leanne.
You'd be forgiving of her, but harsh on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Cause
I think that's common. I'd be the same.
Because she still, like, that still massively
I'd be easy on Leanne and harsh on you.
Well, she's just so cute. Do you know what I mean?
I can't help it.
She's just so beautiful. I'm a monster. But
that's on your behalf.
But yeah, like I can get quite bullish with it when I've watched it before. I'm like, this person's a fucking moron. They could have had this amount of money.
Different under the lights.
100%, of course it is.
But it's like I always say on Only Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, with you saying about going to the final third, it's like never go home with a lifeline still intact. Do you know what I mean? If there's even like a scintilla of doubt, I know you're thinking further forward and you're thinking, oh, I might need it for the next one. I'm fairly sure on. If there's like that little tiny iota of doubt, use the lifeline. Do not go out having lifelines intact.
I think the real secret to it.
Yeah, don't go out with 75% of the boxes still in play.
Yeah, you've got to try and follow your gut. And I think if you got to the midway point and you get an offer around the region of like 40 grand, if you're happy with 40 grand, then take it and walk away. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what you've got left. But I guess it, like, my dream amount would be to walk out with 100 grand, but I know that's
everyone's dream amount,
unlikely.
and that's the point of the game.
So I guess for me, the real amount I would like to aim for would be around the 50 mark.
It's interesting you've just pulled 40 out of nowhere, because when you said 50, and I know Leanne's already said that 15's sort of her number. Yeah. When you said 15, I was kind of like, obviously I don't know what's in play.
It's not enough for a deposit.
But I'd be like, nah, let it ride. I'm still going to play.
Yeah.
But when you said 40, I'd still play, but it made me think.
It'd be really difficult.
It genuinely made me stop and go,
really
40, I don't know.
And that is sort of what you'd get around the midpoint, depending on what you've knocked out. If you've knocked out a lot of the blues and only a couple of the reds, and they're the lower reds, you're going to get a decent offer. And I watched one with this woman where she ended up, I think, getting like a 55 grand offer, and I was like, fucking take it, because it was that situation where you've got loads of reds left and not many blues, so it could get dark the next one. And I think like she ended up having like 75 grand in her box, but you've got 55. It's not heartbreaking, do you know what I mean? Like 20 grand's a lot of money, but I'm 55 grand richer than I was walking in. That is a house deposit and then some, do you know what I mean? You can get a home, I think, and decorate
ultimately I'm very tempted to just play to the end, because that's just kind of who I am to an extent. But equally, I just have to play it by ear. I couldn't give you a number. I don't have. That's my answer. I said it at the start. I don't have a number.
Maybe the most, like, for me, I'd probably try to go into it quite logically, despite the fact I'm saying go with your gut, in the sense of I would prepare and go, what would a mortgage company offer me? Like, what deposit would I need?
I think anything over, just based on what you said, anything over £35,000.
It's a
because 30,000. I'm like, no. Anything again? It depends on what's in play.
Yeah.
Anything over £35,000, I'd think about it.
Yeah.
I'm probably more likely to just play through to the end.
I do think that if a 55 grand offer drops in front of me, I'm probably taking it regardless of what I've still got on the board, because the chances aren't with you at that point.
Look, it's hard to say. We're not under the lights, and also. it's hypothetical money. If that's real money, that's like that's real life changing money. That's literally the difference between
like 55 grand. Me and Leanne, we're buying at least a flat, if not a home, and we can furnish some of it with 55 grand. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, it is an absolutely massive. And then suddenly, you're in a position where you can start thinking about maybe we've got our own place, maybe we can afford a family or something like that. Like literally everything changes with 55 grand.
Yeah.
So taking it, it makes sense.
And I think then even if I had the 100 grand in my box, I'd be upset because it's the 100 grand. But I've still got the home, I've still got the future. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if I'd have taken 15 and I've just found out I've got anything over 15
Well,
in my
famously,
box.
we know how you feel about gambling when you did I think it might have been your first ever ACCA.
I was close, man.
You were like, it had
if
odds.
there was a cash out, mate, I'd have made a lot of money.
Because it was in the old school days.
On
there
a
was
piece
no
of
apps. It
paper.
was on a bit of paper from the bookies, and you
But
stood
that's
to
the
win
thing.
£60,000. I think
If
was in
I'd
the
have
region.
had it on my phone back then, like I do now, and the cash out was even a grand.
But how can I just
do you
say?
know what I mean?
Can I say you wouldn't have had the cash out because you backed the early kickoff.
No,
So-
What you
so
always
you'd have
forget about
lost.
this story is that I did 2 bets on the same day. One that had the early kickoff and one that didn't, because I think Ash was the one who turned to me and said, "You never picked the early kickoff."
Correct.
So I then did another one that was almost identical, but
Sans the early
the
kickoff.
only game that let me down on that, and I'll never forget it, I believe it was Leicester QPR in the Prem, and it ended as a draw, and I think I had Leicester down to win.
What a fixture, because you
So-
wouldn't be shocked if that was a League One fixture, a Championship fixture, or a Premier League fixture. It could be any of them.
Yeah. But I remember picking, and I picked almost every game on the
You were very
thing.
methodical, and it was. Listen, you did come close,
Yeah.
but
no.
you then exclaimed,
Yeah, but what again?
"I've lost £60,000."
No, it was 40. You're dramatising
not
it.
the £5 you bet on it.
I think I bet a quid actually. Maybe.
There you go.
There.
Not I've lost £1 because you started with £1
but
and now you've not
Again,
got that
you're
back.
taking out the context of like it's one of my first ever bets. I've never gambled money before, and I could have won £40,000.
Yeah, but you didn't lose £40,000.
No, but that's what it feels like in the
you
moment.
framed it in the moment.
Same as with Deal or No Deal. Like you feel like you've just lost that money. That bloke who had 15 and could have had 75, he's lost.
It feels like he's lost
60 grand.
£60,000.
And he has. He has lost it. He had 75.
But he didn't. He
If
never had it.
No, but he did, Jake.
No, he never
the
had
way
it.
that game works is the number in front of you that if you play it to the end, that is what you're guaranteed at the end. So if he would have,
Do they not
stuck
still do it where you can swap with the last
No,
box?
not anymore.
Oh, right.
Not anymore. So but again, even then, you still have the choice as to whether that box is
But-
yours or not. And by the way, you should always take the swap in terms of statistics.
Yeah, because this is the thing, right? So
It
you know
changes
the
odds.
game.
It's from 21, isn't it?
So
the
when you-
film? Kevin Spacey talks it.
I do not know that film.
Oh,
I just
okay.
know the mathematical problem that was posed in the 60s. There was a game show, and they
and
had
it's
to
a goat behind all and there's
doors,
a
the
brand
3
new
doors.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, you pick a door, then they open one,
Yeah.
show you they were always going to show you the loser door.
Yeah.
Do you swap? It's like, yeah, because when you pick that, this is the point that you're making.
Yeah.
So with Deal or No Deal, when you picked your box, you had a 1 in 21 chance. So
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
like a 4% chance that was your box.
Yeah.
You had a 4% chance that had the money in it. Now you've got a 50% chance
Yeah.
when you pick the other one.
Yeah.
So you
You've
always
massively
swap.
upped
You
your
always
odds.
swap.
Yeah.
If you're playing the odds.
Do you know how I learned that? It's in a film called 21, which is about blackjack and this teenager
Right, okay.
in college. And Kevin Spacey, shockingly, plays a dodgy professor who runs like a poker group, and he flies them out to Vegas and gets them to count cards playing blackjack because it's what he used to do. They all make shitloads of money, and he's in a classroom and he does that to the whole class, and then he asks the main character, like, what do you do? And he's like, you take the swap. And he was, why? And he goes, because it ups your odds. He explained just what you did.
Yeah, honestly, isn't it funny that we both... There's so many times, I think, where we both have the same information, but it's come from different
Completely
sources, and I
different.
absolutely love that.
Yeah. Yours comes from more actual academical sources.
It's 'cause I
and
read
mine comes from movies
I
and
read
TV.
I read a book that was called The Drunkard's Walk Home, and it was
Yeah.
about probability and randomness
We're
and stuff
both
like that.
autodidacts, but in very different ways.
Yes. Yes. I think I've been diagnosed with that before.
What? Autodidactism? Or just the tism?
Just the tism. Yeah.
Do you know we've done half an hour?
Have we done half an hour?
Just
Oh, so
talking
we
about
don't even
Deal or
need
No
to do
Deal.
my...
You can do one if you like.
I'll do a couple. I'll do
Go on.
one. So these are let's see if they get any better. This is like just to see how we find ourselves morally. right? These are very grey questions, no clear-cut answer. A friend asks you to write a reference for a job, but you actually think they're very poorly qualified for the job.
Yeah.
Would you write the recommendation?
Yeah, I would. I've done it before. There was a guy we both know.
Oh, yes.
And he actually, I got him a job at the company I was working for, and he ended up making me look really bad. And then, because I'd been his superior for a bit during that period, he then wrote to me or he texted me and asked me to do a reference for this new job. And I just believe in putting good karma out there, so I was just like, yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, I would.
I think
because I may not think you're suited for it, but I don't actually fucking know if you're suited for it.
I would do it, and the only time I wouldn't do it is if it was to work in the same place that I'm working, because then it's like that is actually going to kick back on me.
Yeah, I've made that mistake twiise.
Yeah, and
I got an ex-girlfriend a job.
I think that's part of it. Is seeing the mistakes you've made. It's like, no, we know someone else, another friend of the pod.
Yeah, I wouldn't shit where I eat again, but I would happily.
Another friend of the pod, Steersy. He's done it before. He got someone a job. Well, in fact, no, he was offered the choice. He was like, will you get this person a job? And he was like, look, I'm not against you getting a job somewhere, but
just not
here, because it's going to look shit on me. So I'm with you. I would do it, but not where I work.
Yeah, I think it's the same as, like, for me, a bit like lending your mates money. Do you know what I mean? You're just adding a dynamic you don't need. Do you know what I mean? And, like, your workplace, although we don't tend to enjoy work, you become comfortable with the surroundings and the dynamics, and throwing a friend into that feels odd. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. I've accidentally
Would I have gone along with the Nazis? Is that the next one?
No, the next one is I'm going to have to change this slightly. Let's say you find an expensive item in public. Do you make any efforts to return it to its original owner? How expensive would it have to be for you to make the effort or to keep it?
The way I'm thinking of it, if I'm being honest, cause the thing is, if it's tech, there's no point holding on to it
because it's locked.
It's going to get tracked, locked, and whatever else.
Well, they're saying that when the police, they tracked all the phones to that one house, or there was like 3 or 4 houses just outside of Heathrow, and people were like, look, find my phone, it's there. And like 20 people were like, this one house has at least 20 confirmed stolen phones. And the police were like, yeah, nothing we can do. So that's actually, I don't know that it would.
Isn't it? That is ridiculous.
And then they all ended up in China.
No, but it'd be my luck that the one time I keep a fucking laptop.
Maybe that's the difference. If you steal one, you'll get caught. If you steal 50,
they're like, it's not worth our time.
Yeah, you're fine.
Like if it was like, say I found a Rolex on the floor. And
let's go Rolex.
It's really difficult because I would never feel comfortable wearing a Rolex out. So I'd have to ask myself, I could see myself taking it home.
Because you could sell it.
And I'd think about it. But again, I think with Rolexes, unless you've got like the case, the documentation that goes with it and things like that, you're not getting like your full market value out of it.
No, but even if you
I might get a wedge out of it.
Yeah, you get a little
bit.
But
again, like, where am I taking it? A pawn shop? They're not going to give me big money for it. They're going to fleece me for it. But again, that's more money than I had.
It's for nothing.
I'd maybe look it up and see how valuable, and then weigh up.
I know you wouldn't do it there and then. By the way, I love the idea of you standing over it, googling it before you pick it up.
And then I'd like to think maybe. Honestly, I don't know. I think it would really heavily depend on where I was at.
What about if you found like a wad of notes?
I'm probably keeping it.
Yeah,
I'm probably keeping it.
Like not in a wallet. There's no identification.
I did this when I was younger, and to be fair, I did feel terrible afterwards, but it didn't stop me. Because I could have changed my mind in what I was doing. And genuinely, it's one of the shittiest things I've probably ever done.
Oh, bro. Can I suggest writing a book? You know the famous book, and Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway?
Yeah.
Can I suggest we write a book, Feel the Guilt and Do It Anyway, about how to be a dick? How to do bad things.
Because I was going to school one day with someone who likes to talk to women on the internet. And...
well worth checking out on YouTube.
literally a £20 note was on the floor. And I immediately was like, and this has never happened to me. And I've always been with people when they found a 50 or like money or like something valuable. And I've always been like, why does this never happen to me? And I find the 20 quid on the floor. See how I'm rationalising me doing this in my head. Trying to
You're
make
sort of like
excuses
lawyering
for myself.
yourself a little bit.
And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I was like, and to be fair, I think the person I was with also saw it. Like we saw it at the same time. So I was like, should we go to the shop and split this and we'll like buy whatever we want, and we've got shitloads of stuff for the day at school. And as we're walking down the road, there's these two girls in front of us, and one of them goes, fuck, I think I've dropped my money. And we were far enough back when we found it that there's no way she saw us find it.
This is not looking good from the storytelling. I appreciate the storytelling.
And she stops, and immediately I start feeling guilty because I know what I've just done. And I just keep walking. And to be fair, the person I was with said, are we not giving it back? And I was like, and I think I just was like, no.
I've got all the snacks I want now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and get them.
And it was within maybe a minute of having picked it up.
And 20 quid back then could get you a lot of snacks.
And
Or a
it-
tenner each.
And
you
it
know.
was, and the older I've got, the worse I felt about it, because in my head I'm like, I don't know her family's financial situation.
No, but look at it this way. It's a moral lesson. You've now learnt where your line is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
kids are kids. Like, we
So,
do
like,
things like that.
I'm talking big that if I found a wad of notes, I'm keeping it.
But you know, realistically, the
There's
guilt would,
probably,
it would be like Edgar Allan Poe's the Raven. It would just eat at you. Oh, no, not the Raven,
like,
the Telltale Heart.
Imagine I found 10 grand in a wad on the floor, like a crisp. It's got the wrap around it.
Edgar Allan Poe,
And I'm like, I'm
Raven.
going to start a small business with this 10 grand and I make a fortune from it.
Yeah,
And I
you
spend the
try
rest
and
of
give
my
the back.
life
Yeah, trying to find the...
feeling horrendous about the fact I
No, but yeah,
started an empire with 10 grand.
it would be the Telltale Heart. You'd hear the money clawing at you. You'd hear Churchill on the money talking to
seeing
you.
like Tiny Tim. Do you know what I mean?
100%, and I could see it.
But yeah, so I probably couldn't keep it, if I'm being honest. I think the reason I feel so guilty about that was the fact I walked past the person that dropped it. But if I find a wad of notes, I might stand there for 10 minutes, 15, and wait to see if someone comes back and
What
goes,
about if you've got an appointment and you're in a hurry?
If it like 10
Would you
grand's a
go
lot
back?
of money, so no, I'd probably go to the police station, because if no one claims it after a certain amount of time, they let you have it,
You know,
don't they?
10 grand, 200 quid, let's say it is, just like 10 20s rolled up together, or
But I
20
don't trust the
10s.
police. How do I know that someone doesn't claim it and the police officer doesn't just pop
Well,
it in?
listen, there was an incident where I worked when they were doing a house clearance, and the woman planted cash in the house.
To see if you'd be honest. And
Well, it wasn't. It was another crew, because I actually did. So they actually didn't take it, and then she was like, "Well, they've took my money," and it's kind of like, "How do you know there was money?" You know, it became a whole thing, and she tried to get out of paying it. We actually did it, and I found behind a headboard, I found a purse, like a red purse, and there was just a shit ton of cash in it. There must have been about 800 quid in there,
wow,
if
fair
no more. There must have been over 1,000. Like, it was packed. This thing with
Yeah, yeah.
notes, and I didn't say what was in it, but I gave it to my mate, the colleague I was with, and I said, "Oh, when she comes," because she was due back soon. I was like, "When she comes back," I was like, "Just give that to her. I found it." And apparently she turned up and she went, "Is that your mate's purse?" And he was like, "The purse?" He's like, "No, it's not his. It's yours. Like, it belongs. It was in the house." Because she'd moaned all day about paying this bill. She was like, "Oh, I've already fucking paid this much. Oh, fuck, I paid this much." My aunt, it was like her aunt's house. She's like, "She's fucking loaded. I'm fucking doing it. I'm paying for it." Swear to God, when she found that, when she saw that, she went, "Oh yeah, how much was it? How much? There you go. There's an extra 20 quid each as well." Like, I don't think it was a plant. I think she was quite pleasantly surprised. But there you go.
Yeah.
I found money.
Was there
I've
even a
given it
moment
back.
where you were like,
No, there wasn't. In all
fair.
honesty, I think it probably is slightly different because it was a
Older
considerable amount of
woman,
money, and it was in the house. Like, it's,
Yeah,
I don't have to
yeah.
go, who does this belong to? It's like it's not going to
That's
be a
fair.
struggle for me to track
Yeah,
down the
yeah.
owner.
But if
It's
you'd have found
very
a
clear.
purse on the street, outside your house even,
Yeah, I
fat
don't know.
wedge
I don't know.
inside,
If
yeah.
it's a single note, I'm taking it.
What? You're opening the purse? Oh,
No,
it's a tenner out of
not
that.
Not in the like. There's just a note on the floor. I'm having it. If it's anything more than that, I actually think I would try and track down that. I would struggle, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, "Oh, has anyone lost a roll of 20s?" Because immediately, like 15 people are going to be racing over to go. Oh yeah, I lost a roll of 20s.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? Because you can't look. Because if you start looking around and you're like, "Is this yours?"
If
like,
you take it,
if
it's clear it's not yours.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's difficult.
So I
isn't
would
it?
make some efforts, very understated efforts, but serious efforts to try and find the owner if it was a considerable
I mean,
amount.
if it's got ID in it, you could track them down.
Yeah,
quite
if it's got
easily.
ID in it, I'm giving it to them.
But if you're just finding like a wedge of cash on the floor, are you just keeping it? Like you find 10 grand on the floor.
No, not 10 grand. That's too, because it's like, also,
I'm worried a drug dealer might find me like it was their money. And
yeah, and also I don't know how to launder money. I can't just turn up with 10 grand.
yeah. I've also randomly, to talk about drug dealers for a second.
Excellent.
Hang
on.
I have been like, and in fairness, it was in Croydon. There was like this industrial road, and I'm stood at a bus stop, and a bloke rides along on his bike and puts something in this bush. And it's notorious for fly tip in this area, so
You just didn't think anything of it.
didn't clock anything, and like the bus for some reason doesn't turn up, so I'm waiting, and about within 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, another bloke comes along on a bike, goes to the exact same spot, takes the parcel, whatever it was like a bag of something, takes it out of the bush and just rides off.
Mate,
that was
yeah,
quite
you've seen
clearly.
something.
And like my sister once, she was like near a school waiting to pick up one of her kids, and a bloke again went into a bush, walked out without the bag he walks in with, and 10 minutes later someone else goes in and
comes
takes-
out with the bag.
So like quite clearly this sort of thing goes on far more than we realise.
Yeah, that's because I always think like, in the movies and stuff, and they do like ransoms, and they go, leave the cash in a suitcase here. Imagine if someone just walked past and picked it up, and did exactly that.
Yeah. Whereas, have you ever seen the film Millions? Was it Millions? It was a film about where the UK was going to take the euro, and this family found loads of money that had been stolen. They'd thrown it off this train, and these kids found it, show it to their parents, and they had 24 hours to change as much of it into euros as they could because the money was going to be dead from the next day, and they had like millions of pounds. And
yeah. So there you go. Look, I think we've proven that low enough, we've got no scruples. We take it. High enough, our morals come to the fore.
yeah, tell us what you do, guys.
Too
like,
high, it's dangerous. I agree.
Yeah, like the higher the amount gets, the more dangerous
You don't want to
the
be getting mixed
situation
up with that.
begins. Yeah, like I'd far rather in that situation, at least if you do hand it off to the police, whether it's an honest policeman or not, like
You're absolved
I
of it.
can
It's-
say to whoever comes along, like, I'm really sorry, mate, but I did find it, but I gave it to the police. I'm sorry if that fucks you.
Yeah, if
over,
they don't then
but,
get that back, that's the police's fault. It's not yours.
Yeah,
You can
like,
rest easy.
you know, and I would even potentially lie and be like, I waited around for like half an hour to make sure someone didn't come back looking for it before I went to the police. I'm really sorry, but there you go. I mean, they might still stab me, but who knows?
It's a risk you got to take.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't get involved. Too high, too risky.
Yeah, but the smaller
Medium-
the amount, the more
medium,
likely I am to just
moral,
pocket it.
Low amount, take it. 100%.
Which makes
like five.
it
I'm having.
feels like counterproductive thought, doesn't it? That like the smaller the amount, the more likely I am.
But it's
to
about
keep
risk
it.
and reward, isn't it? It's about it's risk over reward.
Yeah.
So even though the reward is higher, the risk gets higher with it.
Yeah.
So with the smaller reward, there's less risk, and therefore we're more likely
Well,
to
it's
take
like
it.
my sister once. She went to a cash point, and I think she took out like 200 quid, but didn't take the cash, and walked off and left the machine. And then half an hour later, she finds out her bank account hadn't been charged because apparently
It's
what
gone
happened
back in.
is gone back in, and then they credit your account because the machine tells them, oh, the cash wasn't actually withdrawn. But can you imagine, like, what would you do if you walked up to a cash machine and there's 200 quid
I'd look.
hanging
It's
out?
obviously been quick, so I'd look around to see if someone's walking away. Because obviously, presumably, if I'm approaching the cash point, I'd have likely seen the person who used it.
Yeah.
So I'd probably try and give it back to them. But if it's like round a corner and I can't see who was using it,
You just
I
take
think
it.
I'd take it.
No, but you
I
know
think
then
I'd
that's
take
coming
it.
out of someone's account. You just don't know
Yeah, but I
who.
think I'd take it.
'Cause
No,
for
'cause
me,
you know what? They've got cameras and stuff there, haven't they? So they can see who did take
yeah,
it.
but it doesn't mean they know who you are. You've not put your card in. They don't have your details.
No, but they've got your face on camera.
Let
If
'em
they,
have-
if they,
let 'em
the
have my
police are going to
face.
have my face. If your sister reports that, and the bank goes, "Oh well, it was taken." They'll check the CCTV and they'll see my mum
goes that far.
rocking up and going,
I don't think it goes that far. I think most people be like, "Fuck," but I just fucked up, didn't I?
"Yeah, maybe."
Because technically, are you stealing?
Yes.
So no,
Like, it's not your money.
It would be the same as if you walked past a park bench and there was 200 quid sat on it.
But that's like saying if someone was emptying their pockets because they were like in a what a tizzy or whatever, and they're putting things down on the side, and when they pack it back up, they forget to pick up their wallet, and they walk off. If you take that wallet, you've stolen that wallet.
A wallet is different from loose cash, as you do, is considering you stole from me in Tenerife.
Oh my goodness! Let this go. I never took. You spent it. You spent it.
Look, not only did you steal my cash, you would steal the sunglasses that I bought with that cash.
Those I did steal, and I've never hidden that. But you got drunk every night, spent your money.
What's that got to do with anything?
And then assumes that it must have been stolen.
Every night, I would go to bed with a pile of cash next to my
So
bed.
the loose change would come out of your pocket, and
I would wake up, and the next morning, just like the fan would end up on Ash's side of the room, my change ended up on your side of the room. Deception surrounded me.
This is absolute bullshit, and this has been like 15 years in the making.
We were 18. No, it was the
I was
second
19.
one.
So you were 20.
So I was 20.
Oh
21.
no, was it the second? No,
it was the second one.
Because
we were in that really shit hotel where we were in the bit that was separate from the hotel behind.
Oh,
gates.
that's right. Yeah,
and you needed a key to get out of that area, not into it.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we were like
Slightly
21,
older.
22.
Yeah,
it's still over a decade.
Yeah.
You're living in the past, man. You've got to let go.
But guys, let us know what you think. What would you deal at on Deal or No Deal?
What's your number?
What's your number? And then tell us what you take
Am I a
on
thief?
Deal or No Deal. Is Jake a thief? Do you believe me or Jake? Tell us.
You spent your money, bro. You need to go over that.
Look, no, fuck it. You stole.
Do you know what the proof is that you spent all your money? The tat you ended up with, and you, like, honestly, that bloke.
I didn't end up with any of it because my sunglasses kept going missing as well.
I did take those. That bloke, his eyes lit up every night he walked past the end of the bar and saw you were in it.
Yeah.
He thought my family's eating well this month.
Yeah. Because it looks like his is. Pointed him. Right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.